day. Granite Gamer here. Some people had been asking about possible training videos, so that's kind of what I'm here in this channel. I'm kind of just starting up. I used to stream on Twitch under a different handle, but those videos don't get saved. So what I'm looking at today is roaming, world versus world. Today with the Daredevil using sword pistol. I'm going to talk about mostly stuff about what I do in a Daredevil, especially when we get into enemy encounters, one versus one or one versus multiples. Just, sometimes when I get started, some of the questions were, what should I run? And then, of course, when you encounter other enemy players, I'm losing all the time. When I first started, I was probably losing 80 to 90% of my 1v1s. Now, I'd say about 80% winning those, starting to run multiples. And this is by no means anything for like super experienced players. Definitely not for pros. This is basic because I'll be honest, I'm probably intermediate at best. And you're going to see me lose some fights, but that's okay. It's also good for me to go back and analyze my fight. It's kind of like sports teams do to see what they could have done. So let's start with the build I'm using and the gear setup. I actually grabbed most of this from Guild Gen, if not all of it. I tweaked a couple things, but usually don't change much. So if you look at my build, I'm running Marauders. Yeah, Marauders with Scholar Runes, just because I can, and if you can, any infusions, those also help every little bit. So that's what I'm running. Full Marauders, you can throw Berserk and stuff in there for more info. See, that build. You get other builds from places online. This is their Daredevil Dagger Pister roaming build. And I can't remember, but I think maybe they use a dual pistol. No, they had this short bow, and I like this ability. So for me, I like a Daredevil because of mobility options. I've found that, one thing that controls any kind of fight is distance. And if I can control the mobility, I think that gives me an upper hand. Likewise, if you can control someone's mobility, your enemies, in the sense of, crowd control, mobilize flow, and all that, you also have an edge. We've all have a Reaper come up and freeze us, or you can't stun break and just obliterate us. So those are the kind of things that
I'm fast as the wind.
This is power build on Condi. Let's look at the build itself. So skills I'm running, channel vigor helps with endurance, and you can look all these up. These are good. And I will say this one, Dagger Storm is really good, especially with soul beasts like the Spam Mongo too. That's kind of nice to just reflect that back. Yeah, and other skills people do with range. It's sometimes can really give you the edge, but knowing when to use it, really with any skill, is really crucial. So I'm running Shadow Arts, Trickery, and Staff Efficiency. Some of the things I'm going to talk a little bit while I roam. So I'm roaming on Borderland for now. It's kind of slow today, but it's where I want to kind of start to edit this, so we'll just get kind of fights in here. You want to be aware of map if you're roaming, because a lot of the commanders and the players rely on, if you see something as you're roaming, good call out. So if you're extremely new, just get used to how they refer to certain things, such as like map, this camp over here, they would call this usually northeast camp or NEC. So if you look at the map, you have north, south, east, west. So real quickly, north camp, northeast camp, northwest camp. This is Citadel. This is Garrison, or Gary. This is Bay. And over here is Hills. And then you get into southeast camp, or SEC, southeast tower, SET. You have your northeast, northwest tower, and southwest tower, southwest camp, and south camp. And then of course you have your shrines, ruins, etc. So today, who knows what we'll be in for. I'm hoping I have some fights for you. I'll get one early because it's quiet at my house and I can actually use microphone and actually make this more informative than just watching some random dude run around not telling you what he's doing. Feel free to leave anything in the comments. Again, it's my first YouTube video. I used to stream on Twitch for raids and such, which I intend to do in this video for more like training. There's another version of this build that I'll sometimes run, but it doesn't have as good sustain, so I'll run that maybe in a smaller party, which uses a different trait.
I'm ready to go. Fast as the wind.
Like I said, 10%, be ready to die a lot, but you're only going to get better if you're willing to not run from every fight. You're going to just draw a line and die, but eventually you get better. Another thing's going to help you with some of these fights. The other thing you look at too is you see how this camp is 421. A lot of times people run a circuit up here to North Camp, or if it's a big group, they might come here. I'm going to go check North Camp, so I'm going to do that a lot in this video. It's going to drive me nuts, but maybe I'll edit it out. But just to show you how, you know, decent roamers work, these are the kind of things you gotta look at. So one thing, if you're doing any kind of 1v1s, that will really help is if you know, if you've run the profession you're up against. Like for instance, if I'm fighting a Reaper, as soon as I see him going Shroud, I'm creating distance. Because when people fight PvP, and the builds are set up this way, a lot of it goes according to almost like a raid rotation. You have a rotation kind of like they do in raids, and the exception is in this, you're going to be able to vary it on the spot because people block, people dodge, you know, it's not like a static boss that just stands here like a DPS golem. But there's some things, the principles are the same. Oh, here we go. The guy. It's not even the zombie. There he is. Yes, he did. Alright, here we go.
Not enough energy.
These guys
I don't have enough energy. That feels better.
Yeah, he got one up on me. I wasn't thinking of, usually if you drop a blind ring like that, they're gonna attack you, but he wasn't really at AoE, which doesn't affect blind as much. So that was my mistake, which almost cost me. And for now, oh, he took off. I'm just gonna try and re-engage him. So that's how it can run. So we saw that based upon what I was looking on, I actually was right this time. He was making his way from Northwest Camp to North Camp. And it was close. I almost had him. He almost had me. He was closer to having me. But that's how fights run. So we're going
Fury
to
rising.
just going to show you, and I kind of got hit by that. So for if you're running Thief, especially this build, a lot of your combos is going to be this skill 5, skill 2, which makes you invis, and then you're going to sneak up, and you're going to see that this goes to your backstab. You also use this a lot if you're trying to sneak up on someone. A couple of ways you can do this. If you're by yourself, you can go one of two ways. Usually this way is the most efficient.
Wonderful combination.
Which lengthens your invis time. If you're in a group, or if you really want a longer stealth, you're going to skill 5. You usually get 3 glass, so decent initiative left. You got pretty good stealth. That's more of a group stealth, so that's kind of nice. I'll use that when I'm running in groups. Some things you might see today too, if I see a commander roaming with a Zerg, I might kind of follow them and just kind of pick people off from the sides or spike them when their health is low. It's a beauty about a Thief, is the mobility. And honestly, I'm surprised I didn't die in that last fight because he had me down to literally hundreds. But, you know, a lot of this is skill and some of it is luck, and I probably could have won that fight if I didn't make that dumb decision of just popping black powder and sitting in it. That, when I get like a melee guy, like maybe a Soul Beast or something, or even Revenants that are just melee warriors, if you pop that, and they're on you if they're new or not aware and they're just attacking you, I just sit here and auto attack and get them down, and then I'll save when they get about half health. And along with that combo, skill 5, 2, you can also throw Steal in there, which as you see is going to steal some boons, daze them, and also the way I have it set up, I didn't go over this. We're running for sigils is Sigil of Air and Sigil of Celerity. So this one's cool because after you disable, after I steal or use my skill 4 to stun someone, I get quickness, which really brings their health bars down quick. If I run the other build, which has, jeez, I wish I could remember the trait, would be Deadly Arts. You know, the DPS is high, but the problem with that is I don't have as much sustain, so if I'm not killed in 10 seconds, I'm dead. You get some of these players that wrap themselves in wounds. It's just a matter of time when they worry around with AoE, Condi. Took the tower, paying attention. This video. So they took that tower, so they could have ported, they could go to Garrison, or they could come up to the camp. So I'm just going to run straight down, see if I run. Because from here they typically won't backtrack around there, they'll just come straight up. But I see the sentries there, but they can still. So now I'm keeping an eye out, see if Garrison gets contested. Citadel. That's not yet. So let's see if we can find myself. I hope there's 2, 3, that's a guild, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15. Sometimes what I'll do too is if I find a roaming party, I'll kind of hang out and wait and grab one of the guys in the back, the stragglers. Usually do that on spawn camp, so just sending a message to Dead Red Cap, West Tower at least. Way more. Red Zerg. So let's see if I can. I'll probably die. Let's see if I can't get someone to sleep on. Let's get this neck right here and show you how that works.
Fast as the wind.
Here's a way to stop shadow stomp. They're not paying attention. They caught him sleeping. I got a free. If you're fighting too, see how he just kept running? Sometimes you gotta withdraw and come back. That's what that elementalist did. He was smart. lot of times if you're in like desert, there's no way to do this. But here we go. I'm gonna just contest this for a little bit. These guys are
I'm fast as the wind. From me, twice in the
One thing about stealthing in here that makes it hard.
I don't have enough energy.
So when you stealth in the ring, you can't cap or retain. So that does happen. And since I'm playing early morning, you might not see commanders. I was kind of doing this one run into the 1v1s for this video. This is the time where we have a lot of commanders typically on. I should probably follow this red serve. So Reapers, one of the reasons I chose that Reaper was to kind of show he didn't do it, but when you fight a Reaper, and I mentioned this earlier, they go in a shroud, you kind of want to back off and try to kite them a bit until the shroud runs out. Because two reasons. One, that's just free health, and you're just totally wasting all your skills on it. And then he comes out of cooldown, his skills are basically refreshed. What's that Illy I thought?
You'll not harm me.
And if you're using blink skills, you can blink to ambient creatures. So there's no way I think I can take these two on because they're
Barely.
So I am honestly surprised that I got a guy. So that was fun, and it's nice for the video to see that I can actually win. Alright, so that was pretty good. Oh, and I wasn't paying attention to borders, and that's okay. Loading. Almost had the second one, which is pretty good. Usually those guys are so hard, as you can see, for me to kill, because I don't have a lot of them. I'm going to no. Red Zerg and T. We won't be able to take them. That's okay. Let's see if I can get someone sleeping.
Glory rising!
There's a star.
Someone help me!
Okay, so that's what happened. I got fixated, I didn't have any stuns on breakdown, I got pulled, mobbed, and they got me. This guy is so excited because they were able to 5v1 them. You're going to see a lot of that stupid stuff. You'll have a pretty good match, you'll own them, and then they get their buddies to help them. They think they're like, they'll start dropping siege on you. It's just ego. I guess you gotta kind of have a little to play this. Okie doke, so we saw that. That was actually a pretty decent fight though, but you can oftentimes catch people sleeping and stuff like that. They're AFK, they figure in the group they're safe. You'll be surprised how many people I catch. They'll cap the camp, they'll go, let's say they'll go, here's the camp of somebody already capping it, probably. Let's check it out. So that they'll go AFK, they think they're safe. You go in, you gank them first, and you can do this with probably with any character that can manage that stuff. And it's an AFK player. Now is that cheap on me? Sure, but I'll take if someone wants to give me a free kill like that in AFK, I'll take it. Plus, you know, it's kind of nice when they come back and find their corpse. Let's take our new camp. I am gonna go down and grab this camp. So I plan on maybe editing this, but I don't know how much.
Energized.
Be mostly informational about roaming in general. Some other things you can look at is if you want to see what a tower's got, you can click on it. It'll tell you what kind of, you know, do they have, what kind of tactics they have. Do they have emergency waypoint ready? And I will tell you honestly, that's something I'm still learning. I learned a lot from the raid guild that I run with. Which, by the way, if you look at my guild tag, isn't CCC. That's just my personal guild. But I tend to rep them when I'm roaming. The guild I do run with is MAS. Very good group of people.
You're energized.
Street chatting. But you'll get to see that. We run usually on a Thursday as a smaller group, so I'll roam with either Daredevil or Willbender, and then I'll run with Saturdays. I usually run a support, though not always. Sometimes I'll even run a Reaper, which are pretty good. Pretty tanky. So let's go take this camp. So, for taking camps, the reason I also use this build, because of the sustain every time I blind someone, I get blinded.
Fast as the wind.
Run in, I'm not taking any damage.
They're poisoned.
You should go after first, just so they did So that was a bit messy. Usually I round them up. I'm kind of distracted with talking about this video. And I'm not averse to if people want to learn again. I don't know everything about everything. Again, intermediate best, but I'm willing to even learn new builds if someone wants to see how it works, because the principles are the same, which what I'm telling you is, you know, if you know what your other player's going to do, what rotations they get. For instance, it was a long fight for me, but I remember fighting druids that are running healing. I learned, it took me a while, but I learned to save my stuns for when they go into Celestial Avatar. Somebody's taking that. Let's go. So when they'd go into that, you'd stun that would mess up basically a key part of their sustain for their build. And they're still pretty tanky, but you eventually get them. The other thing I try not to do now is because if I see someone roaming just out and about, usually I'll attack them. But if they don't have like a metallic rank, oh great, they took our hills. I'm not surprised, probably took these tower hills. If they don't have a metallic rank, I typically won't. Attack anybody of a non-metallic guild unless it's for an objective, like we're fighting over a camp or something. Sometimes what I might do is I might hang out and just wait to see if they attack me if they fight, because maybe they want to win. One thing to be aware of too, which is interesting, just because someone doesn't, it's like they're a new player from their title, it doesn't mean they are. I have been totally owned by people that were like maybe just a random like nice, no metallic rank and just got totally obliterated. I've also come against diamond dudes and wrecked them. And again, there is a small portion of this that is luck. You got position and stuff. I talk about position. So I learned this more from running my raid group. The commander is very good. He is very, very good about using environmental instructions to really your best. That means running around columns so people can't target you, or jumping over the fence that people get hung up on, or other things that are on the ground like a stone, block up your character. So those kind of things also help. And what you saw what I did with a lot of the games, I use this shadow step to stomp. So if you want to, how that works is start your stomp. As you start the animation, your animation lock, pour it away so they can't do anything, and then right when you put it back down, you pour it back. And it kills them. Other things to do is I'll drop a smoke ring around him, so like a guardian, if he's trying to
better. It's refreshing.
Great. Headshots, great. So like, you could do your 5-2 scope with this. So you can use blinding powder against yourself. So you can stop.
Better.
So see how he just did that normally.
Little help.
If you have a smoke ring around so I'm running a shadow sustain build. I'm going to survive that battle. Again, that's why I like this first. Dude, come cap, come cap. guess he wanted to kill. I get that. So maybe for this I'll just run a brief couple hours today, just because I'm not going to start editing in the future. I probably will, because this is the first video. I'm just going to talk a lot, and I apologize. But there is a wealth of stuff in there. Unfortunately, my Garrison. Let's go there. I wasn't paying attention. Unfortunately, the way I teach and train is like this big brain harvest. When I teach a raid, we'll go in. I'll give you all the mechanics. It's like overwhelming, but it makes more sense because I do callouts as we go. And it seems to be pretty successful. I'll be doing some of those in this channel too, as well as maybe some convergences or CM convergences. It's kind of they're here. Alright, so I'm a little distracted here, so they might get it normally when I got this. But again, I'm making a video. So yeah, so here, roaming, I just popped up emergency waypoint. Installed a bit. And so I pinged the emergency waypoint.
Fast as the wind.
That is awesome. These guys are good. They know this. The waypoints go up, they'll come in and just stack on there. So if you do come in and die and get out of there, try and take the waypoint again. It lasts for a bit. So if you ever ping emergency waypoint, make sure you ping in chat, in team chat. I covered up. Yeah, so I gotta go. Them things too. See how close to the edge. People are gonna try and just watch out for the rules. I'm gonna try and do this again and again. World versus world, you gotta die. And if you're committed ready to die, you're gonna get better with that one deal. One of the things that I was talking about when I was fighting those multiples earlier is I tried to stomp the guy to get rid of him, but I couldn't. The other thing you can do is just make it hard for him to res, and that's what I did. I kept interrupting him and then just kept spamming with stuff, and they knew he wasn't getting the res. Finally, it was low enough that
I'm fast as the wind.
And sometimes there's nobody on, but if I saw a commander like, hey, stall till I get there, that's kind of what I was starting to do. I would have played it better. Is you just stall around the arena a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can't go take Northeast Camp or Northeast Tower. Actually, did someone take this recently? Yes. Let's go check North Camp. North Camp is usually the one that you protect the most because it's the furthest away, should be the easiest to maintain. You can get a lot of supply from there to your garrison and other such areas, your towers. And some of that I'm hazy on, I'm still learning more of those things. There are commanders out there that do that. I don't usually command because I only know the basics. I've mostly been on roam. I'm trying to learn that end. So any tips people have, leave them in the comments. Again, I don't have the market corner on any of this. This is all a learning. So I'm sure I'm going to say things wrong. Please feel free to correct me. Or maybe offer up some information you know that can help me do better.
That feels better.
So let's go down and start taking this stuff back. I might go check out some of the Borderlands. One thing too that I usually do on Friday nights, if you happen to be on like an hour before World vs. World resets, is it's a good time to roam, run into people. And for me specifically, I find that southern edge of the borderlands in the desert region, you get a lot of roamers out there, not a whole lot of big groups. So if you're
Beautiful blend of talents.
I'm willing to fight. I'll just spend an hour. That's where I get a lot of my practice. I had one guy last night. Was this? I think he was a gold dragon hunter, gold rank, and he was headed to a camp in Washington's camp. So as I went up to engage him, he went down and sat in the camp. And so I was actually just fooling around. So because he, and I got down and I just kind of beckoned at him. And so he came up. We did a 1v1. He did really well, actually. Pretty excited about the fight. So that was good. But sometimes don't be afraid to do that. You just don't jump in 1v1. You could learn just as much from getting figure out. Usually these guys will like how did that happen for you? For instance, dragons, I hadn't talked about before, they like to sit in the traps. So I learned one I can bring to short bow. Two they usually do is like a lot of dodges. They're done. Dodge to the edge of their trap, take 0 damage, bring the trap, go back and grab them while the trap is. Another thing you can do while you're roaming Another thing you can do while you're roaming is, normally I just really tap is say you're mounted and someone is not, and you want to go battling or if you hang on your mount, well, one of two things happens. One, they're on a mountain, you dodge, you look, they drop off the direction. The mountain makes you go right around, dodge, keep attacking the mountain, just go off. Out of that cooldown, pop off the mountain, they're supposed to cool down, you have the pressure. That kind of makes it. Let's talk about other professions. Residents for me are kind of challenging. You just gotta. I have a hard time finding. Get rid of the clones, but they're such clone factories. That doesn't work, so I'll try to just see which one moves erratically. Because clones typically move smooth, they'll just kind of like run towards you like you're in this tree right here, they're just kind of like whereas when you're fighting someone, they're going to be all around, dodge, they're going to kind of, strafe around you. You know what? I did this wrong. Let's go back up here. So I'm going to catapult this from the top. So anyway, yeah, they'll roam around you. Reapers, I've said again, but when they go into Shroud, I'll kite them. When they come out, then I'll blitz them. And the thing you want to watch out for Reapers is two things. One, they have the lead that's chilled when it freezes you, which I don't believe you can break that stun. You're just stuck. And then when they go into Shroud, the normal rotation of the Reaper in Shroud, I can't do that, is you do skill, like for me, I'll do 5, 4, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2. 5 chills you, same thing like that, chilled 1. 4 just dumps a bunch of condian damage. 3 gives you stability, but when you use it again, it fears the person. And then 2, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. So 5 freezes them, 4 you burst in them. They're using 2 right about the time you come out of that stun, and then you hit someone again with that fear. I've usually basically locked them, crowd control them for a good 5, 6 seconds, which time you completely can take them from a full bar to a down state. I think I can reach from here. I don't have any catas, so I guess I gotta buy some. Well, let me see. What's he doing? Is he putting a cata down? day, then call when it opens. Here you gotta worry about people sneaking up
I'm
on you.
fast
Or
as
you
the
gotta deal
wind.
with just this guy. That's why I was gonna cat it. And you gotta worry about having enough people to keep the ads off you while you do the door. So he's not paying attention, or I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's got a different agenda. So I'm just gonna buy some. So I ramble, apologize for that, but I swear to you there is good information in there somewhere. Okay, buy items. Guild. Good. Alright, these are pretty expensive, but I don't care. Let's just go with 10. Let's go with 20. Alright. Let's go back. I'm gonna grab some here. So something you do as roamers too is if people are busy, you can start opening objectives up. Then you call it out in chat. And always like to check. Call it out in chat, and people will usually get at least a couple to come running. Ram's up, you know what? I'm just gonna go finish.
I'm fast as the wind.
That's reasonable. I'll be able to do it. I have I'm my man. Awesome. So it helps too. Typically if you're people, you want your best highest mastery on it. And of course, the more seasons you grow, the more time you operate on it goes down. But we're roamers, so is known as the have-nots.
Fury rising.
Another thing I'll do again Friday nights, and sometimes on slower periods, I'll find a spawn camp, like go in desert borderlands where I like a southeast or southwest camp. If they're experienced players who keep trying to move back and take the camp, I will.
Rare treasure.
I will just hang out there and just fight them back. Usually it's one guy, they'll stop. But I had a couple dudes, so a ranger and a dragon that kept coming back south. Maybe we should try for years. But hey, what are these guys doing? Let's find out. You always want to try and stay top level in supply. What are these guys? They do. Cat us up. What? So they put one up. Nice.
Fury rising.
Good thing about Thief 2 is I just told this guy I'm grabbing more supply. I can grab this stuff relatively quickly because mobility again on Thief is why I love him. The other thing I play because it actually jives.
Fast as the wind.
Bender. And Will Bender is honestly way overpowered. Basically like a Condi Thief on steroids. Well, they don't have his stealth. If you gave stealth to Will Bender, that would be rough. I do play Will Bender on occasion, but my favorite's always been a Thief because I love the mobility and the challenge. Because let's be honest, Thieves are squishy. Will Benders aren't really squishy because they have the boons like protection, you know, resistance, and all that stuff. But, and ages, of course. But I mean, that's what Thieves have. They have stealth. So I guess it's a fair statement. Stealth can be challenging. Is just use skill the shortest duration you can to reach just for the highest DPS. It doesn't make a huge difference overall. Every second matters. And of course, you have someone that can provide alacrity. I don't. More supply. Actually making it involved. Back through some of the professions. Let's see. What else do I do for fight? So yeah, mobility. And you probably noticed that I have quite a few stun breaks in the meta build that they have as their primary for where I got this build from. I think it was Guild Gen. They have the Signet of Agility because it clears refill endurance and cleanse conditions. That could still be useful, and I think it quite is because when you refill your endurance, when you dodge, you get a endurance, you get a damage reduction for a few seconds after you dodge. And I think that's also stun break. The only reason I like it is it gives me more. Saw how that guy kept running. I kept able to close that gap. I find that very useful. Or stunned. It's a good stun break for me if someone's going to be ranged. And that's where it's a good idea to really know your traits. Because, for instance, like let's see. Gain health. Attack. Conditions, gain swiftness, then rush forward to main attack. Unhindered combat, look down at the bottom of the screen. I can't do that. 4 seconds, and -10% condition damage, power damage. So, I kind of like that. So that just gives you more phase. Maybe I'll try that. Another option for you could be this withdraw when you roll back. Mostly motion pyramids. I like this one. Overall, I think channel vigor is helpful more than sometimes you use a heal. You're on the edge of the tower. You roll right off the tower if you're not careful. But all about winning fights, your skills, your traits, knowing your sigils, what they do, timing. Think about that. Other thing. A lot of it's just timing. When do you use this line? Now you gotta worry about the step. You gotta use the shadow step. Part of my problem is I tend to sit on things a bit too much because I can't need it. But using it at appropriate time, maybe that signals is what wins the fight, or maybe I lose the fight because I use it too early, which I have a habit of doing. So I like to use steel as my opening skill. 5, Heart Seeker, steel, and backstab because it doubles damage. And strips.
Never capitulate!
So I'm trying to get better at
Fast as the wind. Black powder. Fast as the wind. That feels better.
So those are the things. Timing is everything. Tonight, if I stream, I'm going to try and do it with my group format, my raid. I'm kind of hoping I'm on support so you guys can see that, but I also don't mind DPS. I'm getting better at support, but I'll be honest, I still have some of this Leroy Jenkins, you know, being in roam mode of just jumping into a crowd and learning myself kills. Alright, let's see. Let's go clean up West Camp. And then maybe try a couple southern camps, see if I get any fights. If not, I might go to another borderland. Just see if I can find any fights there. And then end this because I know it's probably super boring. Feel free to fast forward on your own. Like I say, future videos will probably be more edited and less stuff, but because of my first, I'm trying to cover a lot of information for those that are trying to learn PvP. This is it. There's a guy down there. It's probably friendly. Yes, says it's friendly. So, let's see. What else could I do? Other professions that I fight. So typically, you're gonna find a lot of elementalists. They're very boon heavy, so boon strips are well. Warriors are, again, anything So these are pretty good indicators. Tend to be tanky and they just jump around all the time. But if you're patient. One thing that's been somewhat new, I don't know if it's changed, but you have a lot of NGs that are scrappers. They get this buff by blowing up all their turrets, and then they can one-shot you, basically. At least that's what's happened to me. So now we're dodging and just only going for a burst. think they're doing the same thing I am. It's just kind of, as you see, our Borderlands starting to bring it back, but we had gotten wrecked by that red group. What else? Talk about professions. So Necro, Scourges. Just watch for shades. Most Scourges now. But if they do, just again watch out for their wells, for their shades. Let's see. So if we're talking warriors, they have a lot of blocks. That's the other thing too. If you're fighting someone, and it happened to me earlier, I kind of did. I'm trying to train myself to not do that. If you start swinging stuff and you're attacking them, and they get you see block, or evade. Stop whatever rotation you're in. You're just wasting your skills. Go to auto attack until that block comes off. Maybe dodge too, because you'll be ready to repost with
I'm fast as the wind.
But dodge. Oh, there's no. Let's go up here. Just dodge. Right after. Make also have a blind ready, and then go ahead and restart your rotation. So elementals, mesmers, dragon hunters can be tough because they can heal with that. You'll find a lot too. You're defender or any kind of guardian. They use that elite skill that gives them vulnerability, resets all their tomes, or adds pages, or however that works now. You gotta watch out for that. Another thing too, if you're fighting willbenders, they are very powerful. Don't stand in one spot. I gotta tell you, if you're fighting another thief, don't stand in one spot. And anybody really, mobility. Again, I can't stress that enough. It's key. That's where fights are won or lost. It's whoever's got more mobility and whoever also has more crowd control with them. I mean, if you run at Zergs, everybody's using pulls and immobilizations and floats and wells and such. That's just the kind of stuff you gotta watch out for. It's kind of interesting. I always find it when I do win fighting other thieves, because it's a measure of how well do you know your skills versus how well they know their skills. Because builds vary, but the idea is the same. As you're using one as stealth, you're using one as thief. If you wasn't running the exact same build, it's very close. Because we go to the fun and stuff, and eventually you'll things by that 5 minutes. And I finally won that only because I was able to reel myself. Instead of going right to steal off cooldown, I saved that burst. Once he got reappeared, he's about 50% came out of stealth. Launch into that and down him. But he was good. The other thing too is when you're still learning, intimidated by people with diamond or mithril or whatever level rank, they're usually pretty good. But a lot of those guys, let's say some guys, ladies, those people, a lot of their stuff comes from just being in a Zerg. Fighting in a Zerg is different from fighting 1v1 or 1v2. That's why I'm okay, I'd say intermediate at 1v1s and such, but I am like beginner at
Fast as the wind.
your surroundings, but I'm thinking what I'm talking about is like other, for the thief, anybody that you specifically have important to target, is ambient creatures or even other hostile creatures, or if they're not players. Like you go to 1v1 and there's an Arctodus you saw me do earlier. I use steel to generate some distance. You could do that even on an ambient creature like a spider that's just, you know, the white ones, the white lettering for the name, those sorts of things. So, yeah, anything you can use, and the more you use your favorite build, the better you get. And you're going to find, too, once you get super comfortable with your build, you start running builds you've never run before, it's still pretty decent at first, even though you don't know the exact rotation. Because the principles of all these fights are the same. Mobility, timing, bursting, rotation. And let's say you find you're dying a lot, maybe use, you know, if you're trying to do something on a Zerker build, maybe go Marauders. If you're still having a hard time Marauders, especially with Condi, maybe go Celestial. What I like to do is so I just wasn't paying attention. I just rammed down. You guys saw that. It happens. Okay, nice. So it's decent. Sometimes you can do them. And it depends what kind of play you want to do. I'm still learning that like ticks, so you're trying to keep more camps, or you're just out to farm bags, or just practice maybe like the competition, because let's be honest, it feels really good. But don't be one of those players either that is so loser. I actually find it amusing, kind of sad, when you have a player and then they message you after telling you stay after you destroy. Clearly you just make a fool out of yourself. Yes, some of that is luck, but dude, it's lost. Own it. Be a big person. So yeah, don't be that guy. And if anybody does that to you, I just right click and block them. Don't need any of that going on like it just demonstrates how juvenile they are. But I learned more from losing than I do from winning every turn. I didn't think I learned to kite the Reaper because I kept getting swamped by that lock. Now they're some of the easiest people I know. They're pretty easy if you can do that. The good ones though, the real skilled players, once they see you start kiting them on fire shroud, so then it gets a little more challenging. But beginners, they stay in that shroud, they use it, and they're just burning it, and then they don't have as much shroud next time. Totally destroy them, which so yeah, you can see on the screen my rank is gold, so I haven't played well. Most of my time really has been just because until I joined MAS, I didn't really have a home guild. I'd just be a rando, like a raid guild, I'd just be a rando, just trying to.
I need healing. Seriously.
For a while. Good tactics. And they're on Mithric Cliffs right now. That's what we're on, as you can see. We're
I want that.
So I'll probably, I'll probably just hang with this group for now. The fights will probably be in the future, more edited. Like I said, it's more information for our video. A lot of yabba yabba, I know, it's just flapping my gums, but it is useful information. I was really kind of hoping that see more of a 1v1, which we saw with that Elementals, which was a good fight. To be getting really honest with what's happening. And I'm going to go back and review that. I find chocolate earlier off that it helps. As a it's interesting trying this new perspective. I think it's going to help me become even better than what I'm trying to do. And if you want to see me do some character moves, different classes, different situations, let me know. I'll be willing to try. I'll be good at it. Get out of it what they're looking for. I know they do a lot of 1v1, but you know who you are. I will do more.
Look at this.
And if
So
anybody else
pretty.
wants to see more, that's great. It's friendly as hard to break into here. Back. No, let's go around. Maybe they are on the ram. Lord knows I got a lot of those I can drop. Oh. Wait, blue, that's us. Moron. Okay. I'm so used to we just came off being green. Honestly, I prefer to be blue. Just came off being green now. So something that's cool that makes this challenging, if you are a thief, and especially if you're new to it, and if you run the, what are they called? The Mistwalker infusions. Having those on a thief or any character, that reason that goes into stealth, you don't see that translucent animation anymore. It's a little different what you look like, but not much, and then you gotta really go, like, you'll see when I go stealth.
Glorious combination of skills. Look at this.
Captains will show you the difference between the stealth. If you can afford it, you're unbreakable. Where are they? Unbreakable salvage tools are really good. I put the timekeeper on it just because they were relatively cheap. It's okay. So if you look at my tool, this is what it looks like. Non-stealth is what it looks like stealth. No change. But you have that bar, I just showed it down there, I'll show it again. Watch my healing skill right there. That you watch by just get used to knowing how long it's been. Where'd these guys go? Did they port out of here? They probably will. I guess I'll try and go get this camp. Oh, maybe it'll be an ambient creature over here. Oh, here, see this bear? Up here. Use this. Bring you there closer. You can do that on ambient creatures. Again, that's why I love taking this tower. Dope. That's why I love.
Fast as the wind.
Sometimes when you're besieging, log through this roam around here, see if there's anybody coming. But because things are kind of slow, I don't think we'll see anybody right now. It actually does 2k damage. I used to ignore him like that only does bleeding, but look at the damage. So I try to use those more often. Just to see if I can get more damage. I mean, you got them, use them. Anything use your benefit. Those are kind of hard to get in my range. I'm constantly blinking around against so after this, it's just going to be, I'm going to do a lot of editing. Anything's left, maybe I make it more. Ooh, couple greens, here we go. I want to go after the low guy,
treasure.
5% down. That's why if you're playing it like that, pretty good. You get those kind of results. Hard part is surviving that long, getting to that low, and having all that time to work out with you. So this will probably be the longest video I'm gonna have because there's a lot of info, but future videos I'm gonna be cutting out a lot of this and just focusing on maybe fights or capping, so you don't have to see a lot of this in between running. I'm probably gonna go which way to go. So a lot of people do, you see now kind of. So if you're ever trying to lay siege to start someone's roamer up here. Favorite thing is you put catapults by this wall. It's like a 2-for-1. Not only do you get this wall, but you get the inner wall. It's just smart management of your resources. And time, and you're not worried about anything right now.
I wield great wisdom.
Training videos will be stuff about raids, maybe even fractals, convergences. I think you can put that in the description. Strikes, if you need them, I'll tell you honestly, I don't do much with strikes, just because a lot of people when they're practicing CMs have a lot of time. So I haven't done like harvest CM. I haven't done. Surely I haven't done the Sarah CM. I like tried that once when it first came out. Which we got 70%. Obviously, that's the easiest way to play. So yeah, there's some things I haven't done, but convergences I've done all those CMs. So, first time I did Umbriel CM, we almost got it within 2 seconds. We had AM here. I think he got a lot of hits. Definitely not excited about that. Missed gold by 2 seconds.
Knowledge is power.
Fast as the wind. Energized.
Took the whole Borderlands back. Yeah, so I'm gonna after this yeah, they took it. I'm gonna grab some supply. And I might try another Borderland briefly. I got some other stuff to do. See if I can't find them. Okay. I really like Desert when we own Autumn Borderlands. It does. If someone's doing my trick, I'll just run here when I'm roaming just to find fights. Actually, what are these? Nobody's really gone for them. Maybe I'll take their north camp. Let's do that. I kind of am partial to Borderlands. And I'll probably edit the running out unless I run into people because it is quite a trip. That's something I like to do too. Is sometimes if I'm roaming, I usually take the camps, usually in like a clockwise or counterclockwise direction, but sometimes, depending what's going on, sometimes I'll just evade all the sentries, all the stuff, and I'll just go and take their north camp, especially when it's like in a tier 2 or tier 3. They definitely don't lose that. Although tier 2 and 3 can be difficult even with NPCs with the Thief because they have Kabbalists and Zealots, which make things a little more challenging. How did we come out? Yeah, we're actually red's the highest. We have the lowest amount, which is not a surprise. OJs, if you hear people call it OJs, see these swords on my mini-map. That's someone's attacking Garrison. I don't know who it is. Maybe I can go kill some people. Another thing I do, like, specifically on this Borderland, like, we're in the southeast quadrant, so I'll hang out southwest by the camp, and if, like, southwest, whoever that group is, server is going for the fire keep or whatever, you know, they'll die, they'll keep coming back. I'll just keep grabbing their stragglers like I did with that red group earlier going to North Camp. And it's amazed how many times none of these guys stop. Or that people don't say anything, or they just don't notice, or they don't want to be slowed down from capping their objective. They just run right through it. It's really kind of funny. And then it gets fun where they finally realize you've been a thorn in their side. You get like 10, 15 people chasing you for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. times too, like, I don't like to do this all the time, but I will on home Borderland. Let's say one of the objectives for the Wizards, what's this thing called? The Wizard's Vault is to cap a shrine. I'll sometimes just rotate through shrines on home Borderland or an enemy Borderland because you can find fights there. People are capping. Again, I won't attack anybody. If someone's capping a shrine and they're not metallic rank or high, you know, any kind of metallic rank, I will not. I don't care about losing a shrine. I'll just let them do their thing. Actually, I'll go this way. Just because when you're new and you're trying to get somewhere and you got this dude that just keeps spiking you, you just get frustrated and want to quit. And I don't want to do that to anybody. I mean, does it make it any less frustrating when you're a higher rank? Not necessarily, but by then you've got some wins under your belt and you know this is how this works. You have the appropriate build, because a lot of times too, when I did this, you'll have someone that's relatively new, they come in, they're not understanding builds and why metas are meta, so they'll be wearing Zerker's build gear, and they're just, it's 3 hits and they're dead. And that's just very frustrating. I remembered when I first started doing PvP in the actual PvP arena.
Fast as the wind.
Very certain skills and everything. I didn't know my skill sets very well. And of course, instead of starting with something tanky, I went right for a thief.
I want
because
that.
I love the mobility. And it was awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, probably still not much better. I mean, if you guys want to see a comedy, maybe I'll do a video of me doing PvP arena stuff. That's why I like World vs. World PvP, because you don't usually... Crap, Green must have grabbed it. There's a red there. Hello.
Fast as the wind.
The other thing too, I'm trying to keep
That shake it.
he's gonna blast. I try to keep an eye around too, say like when I was fighting that person. I was looking around, sometimes the peeps will join you in the place, not being aware of my environment.
Fury rising.
Maybe it's just instead of, you know, fighting red and fight, I'll just wait till one's almost dead, I get a tag in on him, and then I'll... I usually like letting things go, so that's just smart. Because they're blinded, they're not doing damage, and I'm healing up whatever they do. You know what I mean. So I might just kind of hang out here for a minute, because that guy might come back. Now I'm on my more sustained build. If I'd been fighting that guy on that I just fought on that other build, provided I don't take as much damage, my DPS is at least another third, if not 50% more than what it is typically. However, I just get more squishy with less sustain, and
Rare treasure.
gratifying it is to drop somebody in less than 5 seconds. It's more challenging, and I'm not that good yet. Hopefully I get better. Maybe making these videos I'll learn more about timing and holding skills for such a point. And again, you saw I kind of got zealous with the Heart Seeker at 50% to 30%. That's still a bit early, but I just get tunnel vision, which I've got to work on. This guy's not coming yet. So let's go take out this sentry just for fun. Because you can bet they get like a... and you see I'm hovering over here, it shows you the cooldown. Protect from capture is Righteous Indignation. That guy's going to be back soon. Yeah, maybe I'll just go back. It's already on 1 minute. And that's another skill. If I see someone taking a camp, I'll let them again burn all their skills, lose a little bit of health, and I'll go in and gank them and take the camp. Thank you very much. But that is the way of things. That's strategy. chips. There's a platinum guy. Catalyst. These guys are hard because they throw bombs. And they get a lot of AoE. So for me to close with him makes it challenging. So I'm gonna let him, yeah, he's smart. I'm gonna let him fight these guys. Use his skills. See, he's already starting to. So he's just dubbing around because it's still cooldown 9 seconds though. So he's got the tag. There's another red out there. I think I just. Maybe. Can't supervise that for me, so let's do. Yeah, there's a couple reds. I'm out of here. Unless one chases me. Ooh. Couple. Oh, Diamond Legend. So, jeez. What are they gonna do? He's gonna spam longbow too. Alright, so I won't be taking that. So yeah, usually when I fight Soul Beasts or Deadeyes and they put that mark on you, straight to back, like the back of the nail is going to be down to and then it's an easy kill. I would have tried to take on that cat if it was just him, that's what I was positioning for, but, and that's where environmental awareness comes in. If I'd stayed fixated on him, had caught those guys on the corner of my screen, I'd have been D, right? And yes, I know I spelled that, it's D-E-A-D. Okay. Demolish, we fought them last time they were blue, now they're red. They have some good PvPers on their end too, but by and large, they had more wins and losses with them, so that was nice. Marked. What are our dailies? Oh, weeklies. Thank you. Oh, cat. In case anybody asks, I did not try. I'm not a big fan of investing in betas because they usually change when I come out. So the Spear beta we just had, I did not try it on Thief. I'll probably wait till some people smarter than me have come up with a good rotation use for it if it is smart. Okay, so what I do here, see how these scouts are here? They're blind. I'll try to kind of rile them up. Attacks. Do too, if you're not aware, again, you know, some of this stuff is basic. I don't know what people's skill levels are that might be watching this. If there's like a cooldown, righteous indignation where they're not taking damage and you can't cap the camp, one thing you want to avoid doing unless you're really looking for a fight or to get ganked is start like taking these guys out piecemeal, because that allows more time for the enemy to respond and stop you from taking this objective. So when I roam with eliminate the ads in under 10 seconds if you group them up. Let's see what else we got here. Just roll in and grab a couple of these and I think I'll call it good. I mean, you got to see a little bit more fighting in PvP. And if I refer back again to TDD, my brain is all over the place. When I was fighting that burn brand underneath their north camp, did you see how I got hung up on that little platform he was on? I can't report to it, I kept trying. And then I'm trying to jump up there, but that could be a strategy. If you're fighting someone's unique mobility and you can hop up there and not miss a beat and they get jammed up. That's going to mess their concentration up, and that split second is going to screw with their muscle memory and other stuff they're trying to do because they're hung up on why can't I get up here? I jumped and all those things, and maybe even a couple of this game cheats in there. So that's why mobility and knowing your environment, using your environment is useful. And again, that can also be the difference between winning and losing. Who knows that environment best and can adapt to it. Best use it to their advantage. Alright, I'm going to finish up here with this just last south end of the borderland. And then I'll call it good. Just kind of been rambling this whole time. You guys find something useful here. Not as many fights in the future. Again, I'm going to do some more where it's just going to be more edited, but I've been talking about this with, you know, useful information. But all comes down to, again, muscle memory, knowing your skills, having a rotation programmed in there, ability to adapt, maintain, you know, distance. Whoever controls the distance controls the fight. And getting back up when you lose and going back out there and trying again. The more you do it, it's funny. The more you lose, the more you actually end up winning. That's the other thing too. At first, it's hard to be aware of all this stuff going on because you're trying to, am I managing this? Can I do this? I can do this skill, cooldown. It's hard to see environmental stuff, start to see health bars, hard to see, I'm still learning on animations. And when I first started this way back when the game first started, I didn't have a gaming mouse. If you can get one and it's not an obvious to make your family start because you need it, they are super useful because it's
That feels better.
getting stuff. Brain. Real time. Okay, usually like with my rotation of skill 5, 2, and backstab. Just because it's cleaner. At some point, I would really like to learn. I mean, I've done it, but I'd really like to get better at actually commanding group. Small groups I can do fine, but larger groups.
How very satisfying.
That's what I like doing. And the funny thing about that is, the bigger the group, if you have a decent comp of supports and stuff, actually in some ways it's easier to manage.
I want that.
Know our names, so be willing to see that tag, like, ooh, yeah, I like running with him because he's a lot of wins. Or her, them, whoever. So stuff like that. This is always useful when you have Borderlands Bloodlust, that helps. Makes you seem a little bit more
Fast as the wind. Look at this.
You know what I start to enjoy? I think you know what's interesting about being a thief? Most people, because thieves have the reputation for ganking, if they're roaming in ones and sometimes even twos, they just run away from you. Even if you're brand new and never done it before. Makes you feel pretty good. But you feel pretty bad when you're new, and they engage you, and they beat the snot out of you. But again, it's learning. So I'll tell you, if you can be someone that can learn, and you don't mind dying and trying over and over again, I guarantee you it's just a matter of time, because you're going to be familiar, more relaxed with it, you're not going to be shaky, you're not going to be panicked, you're not going to be jitter clicking. You are going to get more and more wins, you're going to get more comfortable, you're going to get better at this. It's just a matter of, are you willing to be pumped? And I still get it. Like I said, the other not the other day, but a couple months ago, guy, like he was a beginner, totally trashed me. And it's a humbling thing, and it's good. It's good, keeps me realistic. Good shit. To be honest. Ooh. I just see. Thought I saw my mini map. Enemy thought that I have no radar over there. Let's go take this sentry, and then I'll just finish up here. Alright, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And one thing I do, just to be funny, if you look at my character here, I don't usually play a character like this, but because part of what I did this for was to roam in PvP, I guess this little salt in the wound for people to get beaten by this, you know, really delicate-looking young lady here. So I guess it's a little bit of irony, I suppose. Anyway, I don't know if you're watching, but I hope this is useful.
I'm fast as the wind.
And I will hopefully be out with more videos that are useful to people in the future. Have a wonderful